Gloomeris meets Dr. Cluck. If you were a cat or a bat who never smiled all day long, that might not be wrong. If you were a serious ox or a fox in a box, your folks might think it was okay. But for laughing hyenas, laughing is what they do all day. Except for Gloomeris. For him, nothing is humorous. When someone tells the joke about the jackass who tried to fly over the wall, they all think it's a blast. But he doesn't laugh at all. Do you know the joke about the yellow bunny? Gloomeris doesn't think it's funny. His parents, Sophie and Thomas Hatter, knew this was no laughing matter. They tried everything: cartoons, helium balloons, laughing willows, whoopee pillows, even picadillos. Nothing seemed to work. Gloomeris was as serious as a hotel clerk. Then one day, at a family outing, Uncle Guffo told them about a very special doctor. Dr. Cluck, he told them, could solve any problem, however serious. Which was perfect, because this was a problem about being too serious. Dr. Cluck was a very busy doctor, they soon found out. Gloomeris and his parents had to wait several weeks for an appointment. In the small waiting room, Gloomeris sat next to kangaroos and porcupines. There wasn't much room in the waiting room. Finally, it was his turn. "Sit down," said Dr. Cluck, so Gloomeris did. He noticed, though, that the doctor was not sitting at all. He was upside down on the desk, doing a headstand. After a moment of not doing anything in particular, Dr. Cluck began to chuckle. The chuckle turned into a giggle, and the giggle into a wiggle. Finally, still on his head, he said, "What troubles you and makes you blue? It's easy to see, at least for me. You take yourself too seriously. After all, it has been said, a smile is a frown turned upside down. So go home, put on a basketball cap, socks from the Bahamas, and paisley pajamas. Take a photograph, and soon you will begin to laugh." And without "so long" or any such thing, he suddenly began to sing. "My name is William Cluck III. What a rooster, what a bird! My father was a famous clock. His father, too, was no dumb duck. And in their footsteps I continue to lend a wing to others who are feeling just a little blue. So, if you're down in the dumps, sick on your humps, stuck on a wall, getting nowhere at all, flat on your back, or plain out of luck, try giving a call to Dr. Cluck." Then he tapped both his feet to an African beat, patted his chin, ruffled his tail, had a sip of a ginger ale, and invited the very next patient in. For several weeks, Gloomeris wondered about this strange visit with Dr. Cluck. What did that Dr. Rooster really mean? Was he for real? In the meantime, Gloomeris remained as serious as ever. So one day, he decided to take the doctor's advice. After all, what did he have to lose? He dressed up exactly as Dr. Cluck had recommended. Then he took a photo of himself. Slowly, it began to dawn on him. Here he was, looking at a photo of the world's most serious laughing hyena, from the Ivory Coast to Pasadena, wearing a baseball cap, socks from the Bahamas, and paisley pajamas, with the most serious frown around. Gloomeris finally began to see. There's no one who is funnier than me. Then out came ha, then ha ha ha, then ha 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 ha, and finally a ho ho hee. No one could ever be as funny as me. And when he turned the photo around, Gloomeris could see his frown was just a smile turned upside down. Nowadays, no one's more humorous than our friend Gloomeris. You've never seen a funnier hyena from the Ivory Coast to Pasadena. He's a stand-up sensation all over the nation. Someday we'll go to see his show. Here is the letter that Gloomeris wrote to the famous doctor. Dear Dr. Cluck, I was so serious I couldn't see that no one is funnier than me. Thanks to you, I'm no longer blue. Humorously yours, Gloomeris, of course.